Hello friends, I am Professor Aditya Shivaji Bhavani. Today we are going to learn impulse turbine, and that Pelton turbine or Pelton wheel. At the end of this session, student will be able to understand and explain the working and design aspects of Pelton turbine. Now, in last lecture we studied how the stored energy in the reservoir or dam can be utilized to generate the energy through turbine. What is done in this case? Water stored has potential energy. That energy is converted to kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy is used to rotate this turbine or wheel. And due to that rotation, the shaft will rotate, and shaft is been attached to alternator, and energy will generate. So, how this actual process will take place, that we are going to learn. Also, we studied in last lecture that different classification of hydraulic turbines, impulse turbine and reaction turbine. In that there is Pelton turbine, turbo turbine, cross flow turbine, then reaction turbine, propeller, Francis and Dirach. In that propeller is nothing but I can say Kaplan turbine, in which fixed blade and move adjustable blade. There are two things. And for Francis propeller, tubular and bulk turbine. Now understand the impulse turbine. I can say Pelton wheel. And this is outlook or end diagram. Water from storage or I can say dam has been carried through that pipe or penstock, in which there is a needle or sprayer has been fitted to control the flow rate of water which has been striking on these buckets. Now this assembly will monitor the water flow rate which has been moving on the bucket. Let us assume we need to increase the flow rate or we need to increase the mass flow rate. What we do, we will reverse its direction. Whenever this will spare reverse from right to left, water quantity will be more and there will be more rotation, more speed will be available to this shaft or rotor. And whenever we need to minimize the speed, we need to forward this sphere towards right direction so that water quantity will be lowered. So that is the purpose of sphere, to regulate the flow rate. Now next parameter is nothing but the bucket and runner or rotor, I can say. So buckets are hemispherical in shape, and that runner is nothing but a one disc on which number of buckets are being placed at equal interval. Normally the number of buckets are in between 11 to 16 for maximum efficiency. Next component is casing. Casing is to avoid the splashing of water from this component to outside. And next to that is braking nozzle or braking jet, which has been used to minimize the speed or stop this wheel whenever there is an emergency. And if you fully close this wall, then also due to its mass moment of inertia, this disc will continue to rotate, and if we need to stop it in very less time, we will provide a reverse jet opposite to this direction so that this disc will come to rest in lower time. If you observe this operation, overall operation is carrying out at atmospheric pressure. So water comes through a pipe, and whenever it emerges out from jet, the atmospheric condition will be appearing, and when it leaves the bucket, there is also atmospheric condition. So kinetic energy is converted into rotational energy of this disc, and which will rotate this shaft, and due to the rotation of shaft which has been attached to alternator and generator, the electricity is generated. Now if you see, this kind of turbines are being used for very high head and low discharge, that we studied in last lecture. And basically Pelton turbine are being used for very low specific speed, that is ranging from 4 to 30. Now the different components I have explained: nozzle and flow arrangements, then runner and buckets, casing and braking jet. So hemispherical shape cup. So these are not perfectly hemispherical to avoid the impact of jet direct on this part. So these are mainly made up of cast iron, cast steel or stainless steel. So there is a notch so that whenever jet strikes from at the lower end, so whenever this bucket will move to another side, the another upcoming bucket will not disturb the thrust of the jet. That is why the notch has been provided. Again, the splitter angle has been made at 10 to 15 degree to avoid the impact of jet on bucket. Now there is a multi-jet concept in which we will provide number of jets for particular wheel. In this case, there are 4 jets are being utilized to run a one single turbine. In this case, there are 6 jets. But in practical case, for horizontal shaft, not more than 4 jets are used, and for vertical shaft, there are 1 or 2 jets are being used for Pelton turbine. Now let us understand the design aspects of Pelton wheel. Whenever we need to design a Pelton turbine, let us understand what parameter we need to calculate. So first is velocity of jet, that we know we can calculate by CV into under root of 2gh. What is CV? Is the coefficient of velocity and its value is taken as 0.98, and h is nothing but head from dam height to nozzle. Whatever amount of head will be there, that is net head. Velocity of wheel or bucket velocity can be calculated as Ku into under root of 2gh. So Ku is nothing but speed ratio and it varies from 0.43 to 0.48. Generally its value is taken as 0.45, and earlier I told you that angle of deflection of jet taken as 10 to 15 degree, so which means particularly jet will deflect 165 degree. Mean diameter of wheel, so diameter of wheel or runner diameter can be calculated as, we know, u equal to pi dn by 60, from that d equal to 60 u by pi n. And there is one more concept, that is jet ratio. So how we can calculate the jet ratio? Is nothing but diameter of wheel divided by diameter of jet. So generally its value lies between 11 to 16, but in actual case or roughly it is taken as 12 if there is no value mentioned. The size of the bucket, whenever water jet strikes the bucket, it will move along this direction, and secondly it will move along this direction. So water jet is split in 2 ways, that is why it is hemispherical shaped, and this splitter angle is made by 10 to 15 degree. So next, to calculate the length of bucket, we have formula as L by D equal to 2 to 3. Generally it is taken as 2.5. so L is nothing but length of this and D is nothing but diameter of jet. Similarly B can calculate width, B by D equal to 3 to 4. Next, T by D equal to 0.8 to 1.2, that is thickness, and D by capital D by small d is nothing but jet ratio, which is generally taken as 12. Now to calculate the bucket, we have empirical relation. Mostly for industrial purpose also they use this formula, Z equal to 15 plus capital D by small 2d. So in this case capital D by small d is nothing but jet ratio, so I can say 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5. So 15 plus 0.5 m will be the formula for calculating the number of bucket, or it can be also calculated as Z equal to 360 by alpha. So how we calculate alpha? Cos of alpha equal to r plus 0.5 d by r plus 0.6 d. So where r equal to d by 2. And last formula, number of jets. So how we are going to consider or find out number of jet required for Pelton turbine? That is total volume which is been moving through the penstock divided by the discharge which has been given through single jet. Let us say total quantity is 10 cubic meter and through single it is 3, and if there are number of jets are 3, so 3 3s are 9, so total will be approximately 10. So 10 divided by, for calculating single, so 10 divided by 3, that quantity will come. How number of buckets? So there are some important Pelton turbine installation in India. Koyna hydroelectric project, which is in Maharashtra, Koyna river. Next is Mahatma Gandhi hydroelectric work. Next to that, Mandi hydroelectric scheme in Himachal Pradesh, then Pallivasal power station in Kerala, and then Paikara hydroelectric scheme in Tamil Nadu. So at the end of this session, you will be able to explain the working of Pelton turbine. So what are its components and how the energy has been generated, and it is impulse turbine. All operation has been carried out at atmospheric condition, and then design aspects of Pelton turbine. Thank you.